Waste. What waste? I don't waste any tires. I look after my tires. We run 110 psi in all of our tires and check them every week. Our tire guy knows his job. This attitude was correct 20 or 30 years ago when we ran crossflies. Remember them? Remember how many flats and blowouts we used to get? Times have changed. Radials are a totally different animal. What worked 20 or 30 years ago certainly isn't good enough for today's trucks and conditions. Research has shown that almost all steer tires are underinflated, and almost all drive tires and trailer tires are overinflated. Everybody knows underinflation is bad, but most don't know that overinflation, it's also bad. In fact, most people really don't understand what correct tire pressure is. The facts are, in the tire footprint, for best wear and performance, only one footprint size is optimal. For highway use, this 11R's footprint should be 240 millimeters long and 184 mil wide. The tire will deflect vertically 33 millimeters. This provides the best tire wear with the best compromise between comfort and handling. Any other footprint size will cost you money, time, and maybe more. The deflection is necessary to absorb bumps and irregularities. Overinflated tires have less deflection and less rubber on the ground. All sorts of uneven tire wear are caused by aggravated or insufficient footprint and tire deflection. Adjusting the tire pressure to suit the load is the only way of achieving this ideal footprint. To obtain this footprint, the pressure must match the load on that tire. Your tire manufacturer will have pressure to load charts. Weigh each axle, check the chart, and inflate to the recommended pressure. Let's look at a common tire used extensively in Australia, the 11R 22.5 radial, to see how this works. Steer tires typically carry 6 to 6.5 ton. Checking the chart, a 6-ton axle load on single tires needs 110 psi. But steer tires need an extra 10% for the large side loads, so it should be running around 120 psi. At our tandem legal limit of 16.5 ton, dual 11Rs should be inflated to 80 psi. How much are you running right now? How much actual weight is on your drive and trailer tires? Is it less than 16.5 tons? What about your trailer tires? 20 ton divided by 3 axles equals 6.7 ton. How much tire pressure do you run? Yes, the correct trailer pressure at our maximum legal load is around 65 psi. That's right, 65 psi cold tire pressures. About this time, many people are thinking that I'm mad, that my figures are ridiculous. Check out this chart. A 1 ton per tire load only requires 29 psi. Add this up. 12 tires on triaxle trailer, that's 12 tons, and you only really need 30 pounds per square inch. Now, thinking I'm mad? Look at the name on this chart, Michelin. It is available. This information is available, but it's not easily available. What about an empty semi-flat top then? 12 tires supporting 5 ton? Each tire is supporting less weight than your Land Cruiser's tires, and they are only inflated 35 or so. Yet, almost every one of these trailers runs over 100 pounds. That's why we have so much tire wear. So what? Does this really matter? Look at this chart, again made by Michelin. This shows how much life is lost by running the wrong pressures. Yes, 20% overinflated will waste 22% of your tread life. Overinflation also reduces casing life. Now some numbers. A fully laden tandem drive running 100 psi is 25% overinflated. You're losing 25-30% of your tire life. An empty triaxle trailer may have 5 or 6 ton on 12 tires. 100 psi will be overinflated by 300 or 400%. Now you know why tires wear funny, why uneven wear patterns develop, and why your tires simply don't last long enough. But it gets worse. One test showed that a semi-trailer rig took 8.5% longer to stop. Another test showed axle cracks developing earlier. Much higher levels of fatigue occur in tankers, both in the driver and in the tanker body itself. Vibration levels are much lower with the correct pressure. Maintenance is lower with the correct pressure. Downtime is reduced, and fuel economy also improves by around 2%. if you run the right pressures. But how can you change tire pressures every time the load changes? You need something like central tire inflation, something like Air CTI. It puts the driver in control. He can change the pressure to suit the load and or the road. The person that drives the truck, that steers it through the traffic and all the other road hazards, should be the guy that controls the tire pressures. That person is responsible for your entire truck, the load, and their life. Give him the tool to improve your operation and his job. But let's look at another transport job and come back to Air CTI and its options later. Let's look at off-road trucks. You simply can't have too much traction off-road. Most people know they should lower the tire pressures when off-road. Hard tires don't work off-road. They dig in, get bogged, ride rougher, and suffer lots of damage. These Land Cruisers simply couldn't move in western Victorian sand. They had to dig out the ones coming down the hill. That's how soft it was. The 4x4 trucks dug in too, with high tire pressures. They actually got a bit farther than the Cruisers, but not much. When we lower the pressures, everything changes. This Jeep ran through exactly the same spot easily in two-wheel drive with only 10 psi instead of the recommended road pressures of 32. The Isuzu fire trucks cruise through the same super soft, torn-up sand with only 40 psi instead of the 100 used before. Of course, there are some times when nothing will get you through. Increasing the tire footprint does wonders. Often a conventional vehicle with low tire pressures can outperform a much more expensive all-wheel drive at a lot less cost, carrying a bigger payload. When you have to get there, when it's life and death, low pressures are more than just good economics. The correct pressures can be life-saving. Central tire inflation has been around for a long time. Armies all over the world use CDI and have since 1942. When you have to get there, when traction is vital, Air CTI is absolutely vital. You simply can't buy a better traction aid. And often, you can't afford to get out and air down. Air down on the fly while you're driving, air down before you get in trouble, then go farther, safer. For many jobs, all-wheel drive simply isn't needed. A good conventional vehicle with Air CTI is a very capable machine and will carry more, cost less, and work more efficiently, providing better returns on your investment. This truck will tow 2 trailers out, where a truck without CDI would be lucky to get 1 trailer out. And it'll be doing the job easier, with less breakdowns, less downtime, and it'll be doing much less damage to the bush and tracks. If you really need all-wheel drive, then you really need Air CTI. There's only one reason for all-wheel drive. That's traction. If you absolutely need traction, then do it right. Fit Air CTI. If you have to get there while being kind to the tracks, paddocks, and environment, Air CTI is the only choice. Hard tires simply don't conform to gravel and dirt. They spin and slip, ripping rubber off while putting huge loads through the drivetrain. Lower pressure, soft tires flex and key into the surface for irregularities, gripping the ground like claws. Available traction can double. Lowered tire pressures make novices look like professionals. It is simply easier to drive and is a lot safer when you're not slipping and sliding all over the place. Hard tires amplify bumps. Hard tires cause corrugations and grind up the gravel into dust. Hard tires also hammer your truck, the cargo, and the driver to death, literally. Vibrations 4 times the legal limit of the European Union have been measured in the cabin of log trucks. Suspension maintenance, chassis cracks, and body problems are several times worse with hard tires. Low tire pressures reduce drivetrain loads by a minimum of 30%, eliminating most breakages and extending gearbox and diff life. Drivetrain life is often doubled. Just look at the far smoother ride. This benefits both the passengers and the vehicles. Both will live longer. Air CTI would have prevented most of these dead tires. Excessive tire pressure causes all sorts of uneven wear. Air CTI would have warned the driver before the shredded tires had lost too much pressure. In fact, Air CTI automatically keeps punctured tires inflated while warning a driver that a problem exists. Compact, dash-mounted Air CTI controller is easy to use. Tire pressures are easy to read. And when the controller first starts up, it automatically selects the highest pressure setting. If Joe Blow hops in, the controller becomes a pressure maintenance system. Simple but safe. A knowledgeable driver pushes the engage button to be in full control. LEDs and a buzzer keep the driver informed. Simple and safe. Other control systems are available for different needs. Without air, tires are useless. Without Air CTI, the driver had no chance of preventing this blowout. With Air CTI's automatic reinflation system and the audible and visual warnings, this would not have happened. We all understand the direct costs of tires, but often forget about the indirect costs. If we can eliminate one tire change and one flat or blown tire every year, we can keep the truck on the road for several more days working, making money. If we eliminate a gearbox rebuild, we've kept the truck on the road another week. Eliminating some maintenance and or breakdowns will save another couple of weeks. If we can stop quicker or handle better, we may be able to eliminate a costly accident and maybe a life or two. If we can reduce the driver's stress and reduce the vibrations his body suffers, your drivers will be happier, safer, and healthier. If we can reduce tire waste, less precious oil is used, and less waste dumps are filled, and reduce the damage to Earth, we all live better. Keeping trucks earning money is good business. Air CTI would benefit every truck. In some countries, it is mandatory. If tire wear and or damage is costly, you really need Air CTI. Anyone operating empty half the time, like tippers, floats, or tankers, really need Air CTI. Anyone operating on poor roads, Air CTI is essential. And any time the environment is important, when CO2 and costs are getting you down, Air CTI shows you care. Air CTI is easy to use and easy to live around. Simply select the pressure and drive. Air CTI has safety built in with special valvings, warning beepers, and LEDs. Components are simple, compact, and reliable. The unique isolator is a great safety feature only available from Air CTI. Snide and tight drop hoses fit neatly, look good, and super tough. Rotators are the best in the world with an incredibly long life. Air CTI is easy to live with and work with. It's even mechanically friendly. Air CTI should be on your trucks. Contact us now to learn more. We care about your future.